There's this strange moment that happens when you first see 6 digits in your bank account. You stare at it, you blink, and for a second you think, did I make it? It feels like crossing a finish line that everyone told you existed. Except a few months later, you realize you're standing at the starting line of a very different race. Because that number, that glorious $100,000, isn't the end of anything. It's the beginning of momentum. Here's the secret no one told you in school. Money doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows like a snowball rolling downhill. The problem is, most people stop pushing just before gravity takes over. Let's rewind for a moment. Imagine you're 25, earning enough to set aside $500 a month. That's $6 grand a year, the price of a daily coffee habit, a few weekend splurges, and a car upgrade you didn't need. At first, it feels pointless. After a year, you've saved $6,000. After 5 years, still not enough to feel rich, but something invisible is happening underneath. Your money is beginning to earn its own money, and that right there is when the game changes. See, wealth doesn't come from the money you work for. It comes from the money that starts working for you when you're asleep, annoyed, or watching Netflix. That's compound growth, the quiet engine that turns ordinary savers into quiet millionaires. But the start is brutal. It can take 12 long years to hit that first 100,000. You'll question your decisions, stare at charts, and wonder if this whole investing thing even works. During those years, nearly everything in your account comes from you, not the market. You're the one doing the heavy lifting. That's why most people quit here. They mistake slow for pointless. They cash out, buy something shiny, and start over. But here's the twist that few realize. The hard part is already done. Once you hit that 6-figure mark, your money starts doing push-ups behind your back. Every dollar you've invested becomes its own tiny worker, punching the time clock every day, whether you show up or not. It took 12 years to reach your first 100,000. It might take only 6 to double it. And after that, the snowball begins to accelerate faster than you can shovel in cash. By the time you've got 200,000 sitting there, you've passed a hidden milestone. You're not 1/5 of the way to $1 million. You're more than halfway there, because from this point on, compound growth takes over the steering wheel. Let's put that into perspective. During the first 12 years, you contributed most of the money yourself. During the next 6, the market does nearly half the work for you. By the 35-year mark, you've only invested around 200,000 total, yet your balance can pass $1 million. 3/4 of that came from your money's own labor. That's when wealth feels almost unfair. The same $500 that used to crawl is now sprinting laps around your paycheck. You're earning more in returns each year than many people earn by clocking in. And suddenly, you understand why patience looks suspiciously like genius. Now, the moment someone hears this, they raise their hand and say, sure, sounds nice, but what about inflation? Market crashes? The end of civilization? Fair. Markets crash. Inflation bites? Politicians argue. But history has one stubborn habit. It keeps moving forward. Even when the stock market collapsed in 2008, anyone who kept investing through the wreckage ended up wealthier a decade later. That's because downturns aren't detours, they're discounts. Every dip is a sale on the future. When the market falls, your monthly contribution buys more shares. And when it rises again, and it always has, those extra shares multiply faster. It's like buying gold bars at a flea market while everyone else is panicking about the end of gold. The people who panic and sell, they're the ones who buy high and sell low, over and over, and then wonder why the system feels rigged. It's not rigged, it's just patient. And patience has better returns than any stock tip on earth. Let's talk about that $500 again, because I can almost hear someone muttering, I don't have that kind of money left at the end of the month. Maybe you don't right now, but that's not a permanent condition. It's a story you can edit. Look at where the average paycheck leaks: subscriptions, takeout, upgrades, convenience fees. A few tweaks, one less delivery meal, one used car instead of a financed new one, and you've suddenly bought yourself a ticket to financial freedom. We're not talking about sacrifice, we're talking about choice. Every dollar you don't spend is a seed that can grow into another tree shading your future self. Here's what happens once you start. The psychology flips. At first, investing feels like loss, money leaving your account, gone into the ether. Then one day you check your balance and realize it's earning more per month than you contribute. That's when your brain rewires. Saving stops feeling like deprivation and starts feeling like progress. It becomes addictive in a good way. You start asking, what else can I trim? What else can I invest? Your habits shift, your priorities sharpen, and that's the real magic, the mindset, not just the math. That first 100,000 is a psychological door. Before you hit it, wealth feels abstract. After you cross it, it becomes inevitable. You stop chasing motivation and start following momentum. Each month, the returns get louder. 10,000 in gains, then 15, then 20. Suddenly, you're not just watching numbers. You're watching freedom take shape. Because money is never just money. It's time, it's options, it's quiet confidence. When you've got savings, you can walk away from a toxic boss. You can start a business. You can move cities, take a sabbatical, help someone you love. You stop making decisions from fear and start making them from strength. That's what financial freedom really is. Not yachts or designer watches, but the ability to choose your day. And the irony? The people who reached that point weren't chasing luxury. They were chasing control. They were the ones who stayed consistent when everyone else needed excitement. Boring wealth beats thrilling poverty every single time. The real challenge isn't understanding compound growth. It's learning to ignore the noise while it works, to keep saving when the market crashes, to keep investing when friends brag about quick wins, to keep your old phone another year. Wealth builders and spenders both feel FOMO. The difference is what they fear missing out on. Spenders fear missing the party. Builders fear missing the future. The first group gets dopamine today. The second gets freedom for the rest of their lives. So what happens when you push past the million mark? That's when wealth becomes almost self-aware. Your portfolio earns more in a year than you could spend without trying. At 2 million, it's replacing full-time income. At 3, it's creating legacies. But none of that exists without the boring consistency that built the first 100,000. Every late-night impulse resisted. Every decision to invest instead of upgrade. Every time you acted like your future self mattered. That's where the real compounding happens. Not in the market, but in you. Because wealth isn't just financial growth. It's personal growth measured in patience, restraint, and clarity. The math is simple. The mindset takes years. And those who master both never worry about retirement. They redefine it. Your first 100,000 isn't your victory lap. It's the gunshot at the start of the race. Now the compounding begins. And if you keep going, the snowball you built will one day roll faster than you can run, carrying you quietly, steadily toward freedom,